Detroit on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which was yesterday, all right, the police had a conundrum on their hands. And the conundrum was it was multiple wrong way drivers going down the freeway. Take a look.
Okay, Kim, well, staying on the roads and being safe is a priority any night in Metro Detroit, and especially tonight for New Year's Eve.
No, yeah, we've been tracking the wrong way drivers all year long, and we've had 2 wrong way drivers just today. Let's go to Sean Lay along Interstate 75 with the first wrong way driver that happened earlier today. Sean.
And Ty, what Kim was just talking about, weather conditions not getting any better here, actually deteriorating. So what we're seeing are wet roads and high winds. What Kim was talking about, we could see some freezing out here. That's one thing to talk about. You're talking about wrong way drivers. That's what we're focusing on right now. The first one here, Warren, 75 and Warren. So another wrong way driver on 75. The other one at 13 in Woodward and Royal Oak. I want to show you that one first.
Local 4 cameras are here in Royal Oak this afternoon for yet another wrong way driver. We are told the driver of this van was speeding the wrong way on Woodward Avenue at 13 Mile, crossed the median, and crashed right at the dance studio on the east side of Woodward. Royal Oak police telling me they're still investigating what went wrong here. Let me take you to I-75 in Warren. Earlier today, MSP called for another wrong way driver yet again on I-75. This time the driver did not hit anyone, the driver hit the wall. More wrong way drivers as DDOT bus driver Robert Glenn remains in the hospital right now after getting hit by a wrong way driver on the Lodge 2 weeks ago. Today his family remains by his side.
How is Robert alive right now? How did he survive this?
Nothing but the grace of God.
We have tracked wrong way drivers throughout 2024. Just 2 months ago, a wrong way driver hit and killed 3 men in a minivan in Madison Heights on I-75. Law enforcement continues to investigate if these wrong way drivers are all under the influence or if they're confused by signage getting on and off freeways. Bottom line, local 4 crime and safety expert Darnell Blackburn tells us we all need to be on the lookout and be ready to get out of the way.
You also have to be prepared to defensively drive. That means keeping both hands on the steering wheel. And if a vehicle is coming towards you, you can maintain better control by swerving and avoiding a head-on collision.
I got a better idea. All right. I got a much, much better idea. And this is one of the reasons why I stay out of the mix on certain days, because I just don't want to be involved. The best way to stay out of harm's way, because listen, it's not even about what you get yourself into. You could just be mosey-woseying right along the freeway, and the next thing you know, you see multiple wrong way drivers that is inebriated, decided that they want to get into the car, mad, somebody mad at their baby mama, they decide to just jump on the freeway going the wrong way, and next thing you know, you injure somebody, maim them, kill them. And usually what happens is it's not the person that is driving a car that suffers, is usually the one who get hit and they had no idea that it was coming. So yeah, man, I just stay out the way, bro. I try to as much as I can. Some stuff you just can't avoid, but I try to stay out the way as much as possible because I know y'all out here crazy. That's why I was in the house on New Year's Eve. Also, they are calling this an attack, a possible attack. They're stopping short of saying it's a terrorist attack, but 10 people were shot outside of a nightclub in Queens. Check it out.
That breaking news that we mentioned in Queens, 10 people shot outside of a New Year's party at a nightclub in Jamaica.
Yeah, the NYPD holding a press conference overnight saying at least a group of men fired at least 30 shots into that crowd. And thankfully, all of the victims are expected to survive. That's what we find Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate live in Jamaica with more on the search for the gun. Phil.
Yeah, Pedro, Charlene, right now an active investigation is underway as they try and track down 3 to 4 men that shot at a crowd outside of the Amazura nightclub, sending 10 people to the hospital. I want you all to take a live look right now at this active crime scene. Investigators are hard at work. About 30 markers are down right now. Again, this happened right here in Jamaica. They are looking through every inch of this frozen crime scene. Now, it appears that there was a private event that was taking place at this space with about 90 people inside. died when those bullets flew around 11:30 last night, causing panic, injuring 6 women and 4 men between the ages of 16 to 20. Now, cops say it was a dangerous scene as about 30 shots were fired before the suspect, still at large, got away in a gray Infiniti with out-of-state plates. Now, police right now recovering evidence along the 100th and
That's a Stoli. That's a Stoli. A gray Xfinity with out-of-state plates. That's a Stoli. And they using false license plates in order to get around the city.
44th Place Street outside of the club, which is now a massive crime scene. Now, Chief of Patrol Philip Rivera spoke out just a short time ago as to how this all unfolded. Let's take a listen.
4 males were walking eastbound on 91st Avenue onto 144th Place towards the venue. 3 to 4 males then opened fire over 30 times in the direction of the group standing outside the event space, striking multiple victims. There's zero tolerance for these senseless shootings.
Ain't it, Shania?
These horrible acts of violence on our streets.
A lot of stuff happening.
And those responsible for this crime will be apprehended and brought to justice.
Now, right now, you're taking a live look at the more than 30 markers which now line the street here on 144th Place. Investigators are hard at work as they continue to search for any clues that would help them provide any answers as to how this all went down. Police say that this was not an act of terror. Now, if this was gang-related, they say that that is an avenue that they are now pursuing, but it is still.
I considered it all an act of terror. I don't know what y'all define as a terror group now. Is it got to be outside of the United States of America? What's going on? If somebody is out here shooting up something and doing something that they're not supposed to do and 10 people get injured, I think that's an act of terror, if you ask me. And then last but not least, I know my dog lovers is going to be upset at this one. A man is arrested, or a suspect. I don't know if that's a man or a woman. Now I'm thinking about it. Tavoris and Mary Rivers is charged with misdemeanor animal cruelty for throwing dogs off the Dog River Bridge. Check it out. It's crazy.
We've got breaking details right now on a story about 2 dogs thrown from the Dog River Bridge.
Tonight, an 18-year-old and a 71-year-old face animal cruelty charges.
Natalie Williamson working on this story tonight. Those 2 were taken into custody, you say, in just the last few hours.
Yeah, that's right, Lenny and Cameron. Robert Bryant with the City of Mobile Animal Services says they didn't have much information on the suspect after the dogs were thrown off the bridge on Saturday. But with the help of Mobile police and the community, they were able to track down the 2 suspects, Tavoris Gallery and Mary Rivers, in just a few days.
She wanted to kill the dog.
That's 18-year-old.
Oh, he was already snitching. Hey, we ain't even got into the story yet. And the first thing he said, see? See? First thing that came out of his mouth is she wanted to kill the dogs. It was her fault. Hey, it was her. It was all her. Ladies, see, you used to seeing this happening on the First 48 and guys telling on their homeboys that they go out here and do crime with. It's different now. They telling on you immediately before they even get into the negotiating room, before they even get interrogated. He walking out and he saying it's her fault. She wanted to do it. She asked for the dogs. I didn't want them, and so I was just an accomplice. I was made to do it, and there's nothing that I could do about it. He was telling immediately, no. Slow down. Let me get back to that. Let me hear what he had to say.
Few days.
She wanted to kill the dog.
That's 18-year-old Tavoris Gallery, one of 2 people accused of throwing these 2 miniature pinchers off the Dog River Bridge Saturday. Police also arresting 71-year-old Mary Rivers, who was also let out of the Mobile 1st Precinct Wednesday night. It's a story that captured the attention of many within the community. 2 little dogs thrown off Dog River Bridge on December 28th. Photos of this black SUV making its way around social media, getting thousands of shares, all to help identify the people responsible for this act of animal cruelty. The 911 call came in around 3:30 p.m. Saturday after DJ Perryman says he heard a loud splash while he was at the river shack, followed by gasps of people.
We first thought it was a person jumping, and then we looked out and saw the two heads swimming and realized it wasn't a person but an animal.
Police say these two dogs were thrown off this bridge, which stands 73 feet above water. Lieutenant Tina Zanka with MPD says she, along with Corporal Paul Lee with MPD and Lieutenant Bailey McDonough with Daphne Search and Rescue, were able to get the dogs quickly, bringing them to shore, wrapping them in towels, and giving them lots of love and care. Animal Services say the dogs are in good spirits and health and being cared for by a foster family. Investigators say they were questioning people along Clubhouse and Alba Club roads Wednesday when a patrol officer spotted a vehicle matching the description of the vehicle they were looking for. That's when police initiated a traffic stop and detained Rivers and Gallery. Robert Bryant, director of Mobile Animal Services, says it shows just how hard people work to hold others accountable.
This is up amongst the top of the things you see when you see such intent to cause harm. It is pretty bad.
Let me tell you something. There's a couple things wrong with this. The first thing that's wrong with it is y'all really is out here being monsters. So you just went over on the bridge 73 feet in the air and you said, we gonna toss this dog out. We gonna toss them both out the window. I would like to think that they have animal shelters and stuff like that for that. Like, and I'm not familiar because I'm not a dog owner. I'm not heavy on the pets. But y'all let me know inside of the chat. What is the process if you then, because see, back in the hood, usually they just let their dog out the thing and he just roam free and nobody even care. Next thing you know, you just see a random wild dog walking down the street. And we was used to wild dogs, and that's why they started giving the mailman pepper spray. You know, they needed to give them bear spray, but they was giving them pepper spray. Wasn't nothing to see a pit bull just running up and down the street. What is the process? What is the process for taking a dog that you no longer want or can't care for and, you know, sending them to a shelter or something like that? Is it the same thing with because I know with babies and kids, you could just be like, hey, man, I can't take care of this kid no more. I'm about to drop this kid off at the foster home and the shelter. You take them. And then it's the taxpayers' responsibilities to take it back. You know. Oh, Brian, you so wild. Drop it off for General Shaw ticking. Stop it. Stop it. But he is. These are monsters. Just don't want to throw a couple dogs off the bridge. What they didn't count on is the dogs like, aha. Joke's on you. We can swim. And so the dogs swim to safety. And what they also didn't count on is the people. Now, let me tell you something about people. One thing I know about people, and the two things is for sure, is that people love animals more than they love people. People love animals more than they love people. Listen, go into somewhere and go and, you know what I'm saying, commit some crime inside of your own neighborhood, they're going to be like, shh, don't snitch. Snitches get stitches. Go and do something to a pet. Go and do something to the pet and see what happened. Boy, you are going to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. No bail. You getting arrested. You getting investigated. And they taking you to jail. People are going to jump in the water against the river currents and go and save those animals. They don't mess around with their dogs and their pets. They will save a bear that will maul your eyes out and say, what did you do to the bear? They're not messing around with you. They not messing around. Listen, if you see what the guy has said? He said, first I thought it was a person that was getting thrown off the bridge. Listen to him. Hold on, where he at? There he is. Watch this.
Followed by gasps of people.
We first thought it was a person jumping, and then we looked out and saw the two heads swimming. And
they ain't messing around with you. Listen, when it was the person jumping, it was like, man, first we thought it was a person. Yeah, go get Jack Kevorkian out of his grave, and we can assist him. Go ahead and let him figure it out for himself. They said then we seen two little puppy heads swinging out. They going to get that. They going to get, this ain't China, baby. This is not China. They don't cook them. Man's best friend, woman's best friend. Yeah, okay. All right, play around with them dogs if you want to. You're going to be getting 20 to 5 to life. Kill a person. You'll be out in 7 years. You can negotiate that. You can negotiate that down to involuntary manslaughter. Take out an animal. They take your endorsements. They'll take your life. That you're going to be in there. They going to treat you like you was a pedo. Inside of jail, you go and do something against an animal. You did what? Something against an animal? You are an animal.